Great things happen when you hit your flow state, and this should help you find it. The flow state is one of those things you hear all the big productivity YouTubers talk about, and it's a real and magical thing. A flow state is something you can achieve when doing deep work, or any type of work that requires a long stretch of concentration. It's that magical moment where the whole world falls away and you just completely lose track of time. All that matters is you, in that moment, getting that piece of work done, and the work feels so effortless. I find that my fingers can't keep up with my brain in these moments, and all the words I want to say just can't get out of my head and onto the page quick enough. And the flow state itself isn't even the best part. Oh no, it's that minute that you take a breath after you finish the work and look back at all that you have accomplished in what only feels like a brief moment. It's euphoric. All the stars aligned and all the pieces just slid into place. That's the reason that so many productivity YouTubers talk about the flow state. And it's not just reserved for them. I understand how challenging it can be sitting down to work, and no matter how hard you push, that shit ain't coming out. It's happened to me many times, and it happened to me when writing my video about dealing with minor setbacks in life, in which that would have been one. How very meta. You don't have to struggle though. There are ways of prompting yourself to get into the flow state, and I want to share some that has worked for me. Some I've got from other YouTubers, and some I just happened to stumble upon. First one I want to talk about is the 60-second method. They always have some sort of name, don't they? Gotta be catchy to catch on, I guess. Anyway, the 60-second method is something that I learned from the YouTuber Better Ideas, and it takes just a minute if you hadn't already guessed. Open up a piece of work that you want to be working through and pick a specific point on that work to focus on. Set a timer on your phone for 60 seconds and focus on that point for the entire time. I tried this before and I focused on just one letter in one word for 60 seconds, and the time flew by. After that, I was ready to work. I do want to add, however, that this hasn't worked for me every time I've tried to use it. Sometimes your head is such a jumbled mess that focusing intently on one point for 60 seconds just isn't enough, and you need to clear everything that's inside your head. And there are two ways that I've tried that help with this. But first, if you struggle to get into the flow state and feel like this video may help, then please go ahead and tap that like button to help spread this to others. So your mind is clouded and you can't quite focus on this piece of work that you need to get through. So what's the quick fix? Well, I find a 10-minute guided meditation allows me to calm my mind down and then enter that flow state. Guided meditation is incredibly powerful, and you could easily find different sessions that work for you on YouTube. I myself tend to prefer to use the app Headspace. It's free to download, and I tend to repeat their basic sessions, which are the free sessions that you can start off with. The rest of the app you need to pay for. I'm not sponsored, by the way, not with just over 200 subscribers, but I'll leave a link to the App Store and Play Store in the description down below, along with any video links that I mentioned. Many times I have sat down to do a piece of work and have done a 10-minute guided meditation first. My fingers then start flying across the keyboard, much like they did when I was writing this. But I didn't do a 10-minute meditation before writing this video. No, I did something else. Something new for me. I journaled the morning of writing. Journaling isn't something I've done much of. In my video about the one practice that made me happier, I talk about gratitude journaling and how I've been doing that for a while. But that's a little bit different to what I'm about to talk about, because that's just a couple of lines in response to a few prompts on a template. The journaling I'm talking about now is a bit different. I simply brain dumped all of my thoughts onto a page as I had them. I've never journaled like this before, and I kept thinking to myself if it was the right way or the wrong way. But it doesn't matter. It was my way, and it emptied my head of all of my thoughts. It made my head completely clear, and I just fell straight into the flow state when I was trying to write this video. I'm happy that I tried it out, and it's definitely something I want to make a habit of. I still wanted to mention it in this video, despite it being something I haven't really done much of. So once I've worked with it a bit, I'll make a full video on it in the future. Now, the last thing I find that helps me get into a flow state is music. Music is a powerful force. Music has the power to completely change your mood and just block out other distractions. Once those are blocked out and you're in the right mood, you're unstoppable. Now, I put music last because I don't think it will work for absolutely everyone, and music tastes differ from person to person. But it really helps me out. Only certain types though. For me, I have to have music with no lyrics, otherwise I start to focus on what they're saying and then try to sing along myself, for good or bad. As I said, people have different tastes in music, so I can only tell you what types work for me, but I trust you'll stumble upon what works for you. Lo-Fi Girl. Surely you have all seen Lo-Fi Girl pop up in your suggested at one time or another. It's just a live stream of lo-fi beats over an animation of a girl studying with headphones on. And this is great music to work to because of the slow tempo and the minimal style of the music. There's not too much going on. Synthwave is good. I'm a big fan of 80s synth music, so this is a really good one to have to focus with. And sometimes you get a great remix that pops up in the playlists. I recently heard an interesting synthwave mix of the Last of Us theme tune. I'm going to leave a link to that down below. And a new type of music that I found and instantly fell in love with is Japanese city pop. This is like 80s pop music from Japan that was inspired by Western pop music. You may have heard the song Plastic Love at one point, which seems to be the most popular from the genre and has just a few weeks ago had a music video released. 40 years after the song itself. Power of YouTube. Anyway, Japanese city pop is really good for getting yourself into the flow state, and it's what I've been listening to for the last few videos when writing and editing. The flow state. It's not a mythical beast that only top performers can achieve. We can all achieve it, but sometimes we just need a little nudge to be able to get it started. When you enter a flow state, when you get in the zone, nothing can stop you from achieving something great. The happiness and pride you feel afterward is an amazing reward. Find what works for you and get some shit done. And if you've already found what works for you, then please share them in the comments down below so that me and others can try them out for ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy my video about how leisure time makes you more productive. You can see that right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there. Bye bye.